I'm David Stishon, and this is my proposed information literacy exercise for History US 221, the Liberty University Early American History Survey course. The goal is to encourage critical thinking, research, and to introduce new undergraduate students to the use of primary sources. While this proposal is for individual students, it may be used as a small group role-playing project. Any land rush destination, say Alabama fever or California bust, may be used. At this point, my presentation is the proposed module. In this primary source project, you will learn about the challenges of those who settled in the frontier in the Republic of Texas of around 1840. Imagine we're sitting in a tavern when someone reads aloud a letter from a settler in Texas. The group decides to go there too. Make a plan. Use what you are learning about early American frontier settlement, and above all, use your imagination. Choose where your group lived before. What national backgrounds are you and your families from? What was your job back home? Do you plan to continue the same work on the frontier? We engage in some other occupation for a while before you practice your new trade or profession. Are you married, and how many children do you have? What will you bring with you, and how will you transport it? What types of things will you leave behind? Where exactly do you plan to settle in Texas? Why did you choose that location? How will you travel there? Select your route and your types of transportation to get to your destination in Texas. Draw a sketch map of your ideal homestead community using a computer program. Or draw a map on a piece of paper, take a digital picture or scan it, and then copy and paste it on the last page of your essay, or show it in your video. Stake out a section of 640 acres. What will you want to do with your land? What crops and stock do you plan to raise, and how do you plan to get them to market? Do you choose to build a log house, or will you fort up with other members of your community? Plan your village and decide where you would locate it in your settled area. What will you name your community? What about a church? How about a boarding house or a tavern? What skilled persons will you need first in your community, and why? How about a community school? What is the name of your church and your school, and how will you support them? Even if you started out as a farmer, what would you like to do for a living as your town develops? Your settlement wants to grow by attracting more settlers, and you make money from travelers passing through. How would you do that? Remember, when a town grows, you can sell land or town plots at a profit to newcomers. Now the year is 1900. You are old. The town is building a new brick county courthouse. You and the other remaining original settlers have asked to place things in the concrete cornerstone. What would you want people in the future to know about you and the first settlers in your community? What important early objects and stories would you put in this time capsule to remind folks of the sacrifices of your original settlement? Use Kaltura or another software to create your video and paste your URL in the discussion area. You must include at least 200 words as a brief description of your project, just as you would fill in comments posted with your video on YouTube. As an option to producing a video, you may instead write a paper of at least 3 pages, double-spaced, containing at least 5 sources that include at least 2 primary sources. The primary sources you discover could be letters, diaries, newspaper accounts, land sale posters, maps, and drawings. Locate the following databases to inform your project. Access each and look at the sources available. In the third source listed, search to find an original land grant from the period of the Republic of Texas, 1836 to 1845. Pick one and talk about this person in your video, or in the last paragraph of your paper before your conclusion. List their name, how many acres they claimed, and when this claim was settled and where it is today. Colleagues, if you look below my posted abstract and bibliography, you will find a draft of this assignment. I'm David Stishon, and we'll meet again next week.